Hello friends, Father Joseph Buller here. Hope all is going well, and hopefully we're continuing to make the efforts to return to some new normal maybe as a result of coping with the pandemic these many months, year and a half almost. I know that many of you are already vaccinated, and I certainly would like to encourage those who are not vaccinated to do so. You know, here in New York State, I heard on the TV or radio here the other day that we're one of like 20 states that are about at the 70% of people being vaccinated. And obviously more will be vaccinated over the coming weeks and several months. Here in the parish, we need to gather again as a community of faith. You know, certainly what we've done in the last year and a half because of the pandemic had to be done. And I think we coped with it extremely well. But we need to start to make the movement back to church, to that in-person celebration of the Mass, if we're able. You know, there's people that will and have not been able to be with us, and understandably so. But for most of us, we'll be able to come back. And so we're going to share with you a date here. When we start to come together, sort of the reopening, if you will, even though we're having Mass every weekend now, the reopening of the parish. And we're going to celebrate that the weekend of September 11th and September 12th. That Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 Mass on Saturday, Sunday Masses at 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. And as we're planning that celebration now, and some of the things we have in mind is obviously we gather together to see one another, to pray together, to obviously receive the Eucharist, which is, you know, the source and summit of what we're doing, so that we can go out into the world, you know, not only to our own homes, but to our workplaces, our schools, wherever we find ourselves anytime, any day, and bring what God has shared with us out to the rest of the world. Additionally, that weekend, we have to have a gift for you. So we're going to have a grand opening gift. What it is, only a few people know, and they shouldn't tell. They shouldn't tell. We'll have a social as part of that Mass after each of the Masses, and we hope that you'll be able to take a few moments after Mass to sort of come over and say hello or have a cookie or whatever. And there'll be some other surprises, but again, we're still planning, and what those surprises will be, wait and see, come and see on the 11th and 12th of September. I also need to say we will continue, as we have for the past 3 years, we will continue to live stream our 10:30 Mass. And, you know, we all know how to do that by now by going to our website. It goes without saying, I think, that, you know, as we plan this return to parish life and, you know, parish ministries, if you will, we need to come back and do our part. We all have a part to play. You know, I think sometimes we get caught up in all the things we're doing, but, you know, we can't always rely on other people. And we need to ask that question every now and then. You know, what am I being asked to do? Where's God directing me? Not just in everyday life, but in the life of my parish community. And so for those who have been and those who would like to be readers, Eucharistic ministers, people in our tech team, you know, people say, Father, that person, someone said it to me the other day, Father, the person who does the tech for you at the 10:30 Mass so it can be live streamed does a wonderful job. And I said, they do. We could need a few more people. You know, and we have capable people to train you. Stephanie, who's behind that camera right now. But, you know, we have people that are greeters. We have people in music ministry. We have servers. You know, that's just for the liturgy part. You know, and maybe that's our first focus. You know, how can I be involved? And the reason we want a variety of people and ministries, but more people, is that no person should be asked to do a certain ministry, you know, every week for the rest of their life. They deserve to be on vacation. They deserve, you know, to go to a cousin's relative or relative's wedding, or if an emergency comes up, they can take care of that emergency because there are other people. My goal has always been to have enough people so that in reality you might do it a little bit more, but practically in planning that you would only do it maybe once every 5 or 6 weeks. So think about what you might do in one of those ministries. Just one. Don't do them all. Just one. I do 2. That's fine too. But there are other ministries in the parish too, where parish life goes on. And again, we do have some people involved, but again, we need to assist them in a sense. We need to help lessen the burden, the responsibility that the people might have. And so we always need more faith formation teachers, people to help with the passing on of the faith, the basics to our children and to our youth. We have people that count the collection. We need people to help with that. We need people who are part of any number of committees. We have building and bridges, for instance. We have a finance committee. We have a pastoral council. People who can add and offer insights and their expertise on whatever it might be. And who knows? There might be a couple of new ministries out there that need to be considered. We have a person now who takes care of the outside flowers, or once a week comes over and takes care of that in whatever ways. Well, maybe more than one person can do that. We don't have a formal building and grounds committee, but maybe we should. And not always rely on the pastor to say something needs to be shoveled. Maybe there's more of a plan to take care of something around the parish when you get those big snowstorms. Something to think about. So do what you can. Do what you can. And of course, we need to know who you are. We need to sit down with you in a sense to share what the ministry is. We all need to know how it works. We have a little training, and that needs to be done in the next month or two. So we're asking you to contact Stephanie here in the next month or two, so that come September, October, and into the future, our parish ministries are rolling, if you will. And we're not asking from the pulpit every week, we need more people, or, poor Father Joe, he can't get up there and do all the readings, I can, but I shouldn't. Because it is the ministry of the people to do their part. And the priest does his, the deacon does his, other ministries do theirs, but what's your part? And speaking of the reopening, I know that I think an email and something went out on our parish app maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, soliciting, asking, came from Stephanie, asking for pictures. Nothing formally has gone on in the parish life, in a sense, for the last year and a half. Although parish life has gone on. What are pictures that you've taken that are within the last year and a half, that you might share with the parish? Starting with a picture of you, your family. That the composite group, and we'd like to have that if possible. And also who's on the picture. Don't send it in and give a name. Give a name, not only your last name, family name, but what's the name of all the kids. I saw somebody in church the other day. It was one of our younger persons, and I hadn't seen that person in a year and a half, and I almost didn't recognize the person. They grow up in a year and a half. And I said to myself, how many other young people, and this wasn't a child, although children, this was someone a little older. I said, how many others have grown up so much in the last year and a half? And so we need to have those pictures. And we know that people have celebrated things that are church related as well as other activities in their lives in the last year and a half. Some people have had baptisms. We've done them individually. Maybe there was a wedding or something. But what have you done outside of the church? You might have some gathering, some graduation celebration, maybe some anniversary celebration. those pictures can be sent to Stephanie too. Because what we want to do is put together, I don't know the right word to use, but this collage. It might be several of them, of the pictures that we have of people. And we might even post it on our website, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. But something we'd like as you come into church with this collage of this is part of the people of the parish. And it'd be nice to have that in the next month. So if between now and the 1st of August, hopefully more than, earlier than later, get those pictures to Stephanie. And then during the month to come of August, we can put it together, have whoever takes care of this for us put a nice collage together. It would be wonderful to have that. So hope you can help us. Send it to Stephanie. Send it to her website, or not to her website, to her email, which is smcsec@nicap.rr.com. Can't remember that? Call Stephanie on the phone. Or look at the parish bulletin on the back inside page. It's there too. Father, I haven't gotten a bulletin in a while. Go to the website. Under bulletins, you can read it every week. For the last several weeks, we've done a combination of bulletins, but as we get into September, we'll have the weekly bulletins back. But because of the pandemic, we were able to foresee what was happening, 2 to 3 weeks out. But as we get more involved in parish life and the things we do come, September 1st or so, we'll have a weekly bulletin. One of the things I have to say, and I really appreciate the parish, and not only the people of the parish, but even what I call visitors, friends of the parish, who have been very supportive of the parish. Yes, financially, but just yes in appreciation of what we've been doing, what the staff has been doing, what other people have been doing, even what the pastor's doing. And really we appreciate that. I know anecdotally, not every parish in our country has been gifted the way we've been gifted in the last 18 months. People have struggled themselves, but parishes have struggled too. Because of your gifts, weekly gifts of envelopes, donations sent, in the mail through the post office, electronic giving, it's made us survive and really thrive. And I know that that'll continue because, as to use my famous quote, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And we appreciate what you've done, past, present, and to come. We're planning, obviously, not just for the grand reopening on the 11th and 12th of September, but we're planning for other events of the parish. Not just the staff planning, but other groups, committees, organizations. So we ask if you have plans about how things are going to be going in the next year between September and August of next year. Put those dates and times together. Get those to Stephanie. If you have any questions about scheduling or whatever, call Stephanie, call the office, and we certainly can speak with you. But some groups and committees do things on a regular basis, and you know what your schedules are, at least you're planning them. Get those to Stephanie so it can get into the parish calendar. Things change, we know that. But we can get into the calendar. That helps us, set things up, schedule things, not only for you, but for other groups. Because there are some situations where we need to avoid conflicts. There are certain days of the week, for instance, even in the evenings, early evenings, where, for instance, we have faith formation. And so faith formation takes a little precedent on those days when they meet. But it's not every day, So we've worked around it in the past, and I know we'll do it in the future. And speaking of the future, and the faith formation program is one of the big items for the parish. We're just about to finalize class dates, parent meetings, sacrament dates, and all those kinds of things. And in about 2 weeks, we will be sending out the schedule for faith formation and sacraments. First Communion, First Reconciliation, Confirmation. We'll be sending that to the parents. And in the packet you're going to receive, we ask you to obviously look at this information. And one of the things in there besides the schedule is a registration form. It is important that every family not just register for confirmation, but for sacraments and for faith formation, but to do it in a timely fashion. We have to order books in many cases for the different grade levels. And it becomes more difficult when we have to do it on September 5th or 6th. If we can get a pretty good number by the 1st of September or before, it really helps the organization from the parish side of it for your children to be done in a good way, in a timely way. So we ask parents, please, make every effort to register your child or children for faith formation by September 1st or before. And we really appreciate your assistance and cooperation in that matter. Obviously, if there's any questions about faith formation, about sacrament preparations for the children or our youth, please talk to Rachel. Talk to her, okay? We can't read minds, okay? If you got a question, just talk to her. I think you know her phone number. You probably know her email. That will be on the information sent to you. But again, that's in the parish bulletin. Back page, front page, all that stuff is there. We need to work together to make sure our children, not only have faith, which I presume they do, but to know the faith, Just a word about the pastor. The pastor health is pretty good. I have a little issue I'm still dealing with. Not resolved yet. It's not really affecting my life super negatively, but it's an issue. And I'm hoping that in the next month or two, I'll have a final diagnosis of how to treat this issue that I have. And so I'll be seeing that particular doctor probably in about 2 or 3 weeks to see what's the direction here. But overall, things are fine, and I hope that things are fine for you, or at least getting better. I know that in the last 18 months, people have struggled. Some people have dealt with things maybe better or more easy than others. But we're on this road, and hopefully we know we're not in it alone. We're in it together. Not just because, we have a family, that too, but because we're part of a parish community. And more importantly, that our God walks with us. He's aware of our struggles and pains. But sometimes we have to step out too and say to somebody, hey, can I talk to you? Can I share my need or my want in a sense? So, keep healthy, keep working toward what is good and best. Stay safe, get vaccinated if you haven't, hopefully. And plan to be back at church. Do that next week, next month, but certainly at the latest. Plan to be back in church on a regular basis, starting September 11th and 12th, if not before. Again, if the parish can be of assistance, please contact us. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the summer. God bless.